Berserk of Gluttony Episode 12 begins with Fate intervening to protect Lady Roxy from the Divine Dragon's attack. This shatters his mask, revealing his identity to Lady Roxy. She also notices his red eyes. However, Fate makes a run for it to defeat the Divine Dragon. How did Fate kill Northern? He uses the Grand Cross returnable to bind the Divine Dragon. Engaging in combat with Northern, he loses his arm. Just as Northern stands in front of him to finish him off, Fate tricks him with magic and stabs him in the back. Who is the girl in white? Fate immediately finds himself in a strange dimension with Luna, the girl at Haniel's core. She thanks him for killing her and reveals that his skill will consume him, causing him to lose control of himself. Just as he is about to fall into the souls, Greed appears as a person and grabs his arm. Why does Fate transfer all his sit-outs to Greed? Fate returns to the real world and begins to fight the Divine Dragon. He hurls Greed at the Divine Dragon and delivers a powerful strike. Fate recognizes that its power lies in the domain of E, but manages to defeat the dragon. This overcharges his skill and he begins to get overwhelmed by it. He uses all his stats to upgrade Greed so he is powerless if he goes berserk. How does Fate survive Mind's attack? Just then, Mind arrives, and Fate begs her to kill him before he goes berserk. She prepares to chop his head off, but Lady Roxy swoops in at the last moment and saves him. She tells him that she doesn't hate him even after learning the truth and takes him with her. Where does Fate find himself after losing consciousness? Fate wakes up confused in an unknown place and realizes he has lost an arm. Eris and Mind enter to converse with him. Mind reveals that Northern was only a puppet being controlled by envy. Mind also reveals that she hurled envy as far as she possibly could. Why does Fate have to stay away from Lady Roxy once again? Following that, Eris reveals that they will need his help, and Fate agrees that they will keep Lady Roxy out of trouble. Roxy takes fruits and goes to meet Fate, but finds a note on the table apologizing for leaving without notice and for his gluttony skill. Roxy recalls the first time she saw Fate and pledges to become stronger for when the day comes. How does Fate get back his arm? The scene switches to Lane speaking to Raphael. Raphael leaves for another room with a glowing rock. Fate uses Twilight Healing to regain his arm at the end of Berserk of Gluttony Episode 12. The episode review. The final episode encapsulates the fight between Fate and Northern and then ties up loose ends before setting up a continuation of the storyline. Mind's character has always been cold, but nothing beats her representation in Berserk of Gluttony Episode 12. Eris' character also undergoes a complete 180-degree change and is now a protagonist. The entire first season has been about Fate and Lady Roxy spending time apart and crossing paths. But now that they finally are together, they're once again pulled apart by responsibilities, with hopes of meeting again. The series also leaves us stunned for a while after Fate loses his arm. Luckily, this is fixable. Envy's defeat was quite strange, but now that we have that out of the way, Raphael seems to be the next big threat. However, we are now familiar with the series' tendencies with new characters and twists, so we can anticipate much more.